Uh, yes, it's true. Bill Wilson did not start the first AA meeting. I know you read in Bill's story where uh, he went and met with Evie Thatcher, and maybe some people consider that the first AA meeting, or maybe they consider his first meeting with Dr. Bob the first AA meeting. But those weren't the first AA meetings. Uh, both Dr. Bob, and Bill Wilson had been involved with um, the Oxford Group. It was also known as the First Century Christian Fellowship and the Moral Rearmament. And it was a Protestant evangelical organization. And what happened is that uh, a man named Clarence Snyder became involved with with Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob and the Washingtonians, and he was taking his new sponsees who were Catholics, Irish Catholics, taking them to the or wanting to take them or taking them to the Washingtonian meetings, not Washingtonian, the Oxford group meetings, and the church forbid it because it was a Protestant organization. It was Clarence Snyder who started the the first AA meeting that was not associated with the Oxford group. It wasn't Dr. Bob, it wasn't Bill Wilson. And if you're a newer person in Alcoholics Anonymous, you may never heard of Clarence Snyder. The reason being is that his story, Home Brewmeister, which was in the third edition, it was taken out of the fourth edition. It was deleted. Now, I think there's quite a few people that would be outraged if Bill Wilson's story was deleted from the big book, or if Dr. Bob's story was deleted from the big book, but they should be similarly outraged that Clarence Snyder's story was deleted from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous too. So, what I recommend is that you take your fourth edition of Alcoholics Anonymous for a variety of reasons. This is that they've replaced Clarence Snyder's story is no longer in the big book, but there's a story called Tightrope, which is. And the story Tightrope is about an unrepentant homosexual who finds AA and who is accepted in AA with his hom- for his with his homosexuality, with his character defect. The early AAs would have been outraged, outraged at something like that being included in the big book. So I recommend you if you're going to read the big book, get the third edition of the big book. They're easily available at thrift stores all over the place. You can get them cheap still. And read the story Home Brewmeister. And take your fourth edition of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and throw it in the trash where it belongs. And I'm going to put a link down there to Clarence Thomas's own testimony where he talks about how the first AA meeting started. Thanks for watching.